You know what kind of sucks? Mobile games. Granted, there are a few gems out there, but for the most part, mobile games are seen more like the black sheep to most gamers, myself included. I mean, they're just money-hungry corporations looking to microtransaction your whole family and then tell you you've got to pay another 500 coins to remember how to eat food, right? Well, every now and then, maybe mobile game devs get bored with pumping out quantity over quality, and maybe they want to move to a more risky market. If someone put up Candy Crush on Steam, people would lose their shit, and for good reason, because that stuff stays on the tablets and phones. Holy shit, there are too many good games. Good Archer, Stickman, Killer of Apples, Hentai Puzzles, Siege Wars, Gravity Light, Vietnam War Puzzle, holy so much quality. I have to play this right now. I have to play this right fucking now. Holy, oh my god. Oh my god, thank you, Valve. Thank you so much. But this is no mobile game. This is Dead Cells. Dead Cells developers, Motion Twins, might be from a more mobile market, but boy did they make a grand entrance into PC gaming. Motion Twin really set the bar high here if they want to make another game, because this is actually really, really good. The first and most obvious thing you'll notice when playing this game is its beautiful, cohesive pixel art. And the animations are just as smooth as you need to make a Castlevania-inspired roguelike. The details all over this game just ooze with passion. The walls, the enemies, the weapons, everything is just mwah. After you're done gawking at the art style, you can start to hack and slash your way through the dungeons of Dead Cells. Basic gameplay loop goes like this. Enter a zone, farm up to make the build you want, or just rush to go to the next zone. And if you die in any of these, it's game over and you're back to zone 1. And now, for the brief but burning tale of Fireman. Our journey starts with a brave but inexperienced soul getting trapped down a well. Much like Batman Begins, Fireman was very unsure of how to get out of this hole, and soon his confusion turned to panic. Are you serious right now? Then he realized he could simply shift dash out through that little spot. Aha! But awaiting him on the other side of this hole were firebrands, ready to set the world on fire. This is the origin of Fireman. As he built up his collection of fire-related items, he set forth into the unforgiving tombs of his previous men. Frostman didn't make it very far. Fireman absolutely did not die. This wasn't a thing that happened. Ignore that. Then Fireman made it to the first boss, but he was missing something. An actually decent melee weapon. Fireman thought for a while, and it hit him like burning oil. This oil sword would make a fine companion on his journey. He took the oil sword, satisfied but not quite sated.
25% damage to stunned enemies. Now screw that. Reforge that shit.
Hell yeah, now we're talking. With this new weapon of mass destruction, Fireman defeated the boss with relative ease, eager to spread his ballad of fire and oil to those who needed it most. Fireman grew more confident in his ability to burn things alive, and soon, the fire apprentice turned into a fire master. His skills were unmatched, his tools were unforgiving, Fireman was a god among men.
My one weakness, a 2-inch pool of water.
But the water was only the beginning of the end for Fireman, as shortly after he came upon a cursed chest. He had heard about these on the wiki when doing research. Fireman's greed took over. Perhaps he could get a minigun that shot flames?
You've outraged the gods. Bitch, I am a god.
Fireman had chosen this curse upon him. The next hit he took, no matter how small, would be the end of him.
Alright, let's see here. Plus 20% damage taken, shots pierce first target, wait a second, what is this? Wait, victims freeze? What the hell? This is heresy! Get that shit out of my face.
Fireman was not someone to easily give in. His recklessness and confident nature was clearly going to be the end of him. In this moment, Fireman was hit by a steampunk halo sword guy. he fell to the ground, and Fireman's legacy went up in flames. The permadeath in this game does the same thing it does in any other dungeon crawler. It makes your hands sweat, and makes you try hard to not lose that badass sword you found. Every weapon in the game has a base weapon, with different styles. There's a slow, heavy broadsword, quick twin daggers, you get the idea. Each of these weapons has Borderlands-style generated effects. Along with weapons, there are also abilities, which basically are just like items that you equip that give you abilities. You might get a Frost Blast that freezes enemies, and then a Whip that does extra damage to enemies that are frozen. Yeah, you can see where this energy comes into play. And that's kind of what makes this game shine. Every run you'll have different weapons and abilities. So, in theory, every run you'll have a different playstyle and different combos that you need to use to defeat countless enemies and a couple of mini-bosses and real bosses. When you kill enemies, you get cells that you can use in safe zones to permanently upgrade and unlock abilities and items. And it's actually really exciting when you find one of these in the world, because it means it's permanent. You're not going to lose it after this run, assuming you can make it out of the zone. If you can, then you can keep it for the rest of your runs, and that makes you really, really want to live. Another permanent thing you can find throughout levels, though they are quite a bit more rare, and there are only a few of them, are runes. Runes basically allow you to access different parts of levels that you couldn't before. This serves as a progression system, meaning that once you've unlocked a rune, you'll be able to more easily get gear and loot from the first stage without having to grind over and over again. Mutations, on the other hand, are not permanent. These are abilities that your character gets, not items, but abilities, that passively give you benefits. For example, Dead Inside, plus 30% HP, stuff like that. The different combinations of these mutations, items, and abilities all make for each run being mostly different, and this gives the game a lot of replayability. This game does have one major flaw though, something that I just can't get past. The music, it's too good. I can't put on my own music because this music is too good, and I don't want to just mute it. It's like, come on, man, just listen to the music in the levels. But I can't listen to my own goddamn music. Other than that, though, the game is, I don't want to say perfect, but it's pretty damn good. It's simplistic, yet nuanced, in sort of a speedrun nuanced way. Every run you want to improve something, you want to get better, you want to get further, you want to get more cells, you want to get more stuff. You want to finally beat that boss that you couldn't beat. That core gameplay, that addiction, that combined with beautiful art style and actual passion put into a project, this is what makes something like this different from just a crappy mobile hack and slash game. And at the end of the day, that's what this is, a hack and slash. You can roll and dodge and jump, but that's about it. The combat is just purely based on what equipment you have. But a game does not need in-depth combat to be good, to just feel satisfying, to feel good. Look at Metroid and Castlevania. On paper, Dead Cells is pretty much just a dungeon crawler with Borderlands-style weapons. But here's the thing. You don't actually know what it feels like to be on 1 HP, roaming around the level in complete darkness, hoping to God that there's not an archer on the other end of your screen. To finally beat your first boss and say, yes, I finally did it. I finally got through everything to get here, and I did it. It's that same feeling that Dark Souls gives you. Oh shit, I screwed up. I said Dark Souls. I lost. So while it might look too simplistic to spend any time or money on at first, it's definitely worth your time. At least a look. And that, everyone, is an unbiased opinion on Dead Cells.